Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to my little fairy hut paint along. And this is a painting that I painted for my granddaughter, my first granddaughter, and for her room. And somebody actually found that and requested a video. So before the spring flower come in, which is coming in, I decided to do this when it's in between, when the winter, you're lacking flowers and birds and whatever, and to do this. And so I hope you have a fun time painting along. And a drawing. Oh, I just saw something. A drawing of this. There's a harsh line right here. I'm going to soften that a little bit. Yeah. I didn't want that harsh line right there, and I didn't notice that. And so a drawing of this, actually the major part of this painting is done with the drawing. And so if you guys are going to follow along, I hope this is sitting straight. Okay, are going to follow along, then go and get that drawing from sunsetpeony.com. That's my blog, and go look for Fairy Hut. And so the drawing will not be on YouTube. It will be on my blog post. Scroll down to the bottom. It's always there. And so you will be able to find that and pay attention. And you can have push the line that is in the darker area harder. In the lighter area, try to be a little bit light-handed. I use this micron actually after I do the initial drawing in pencil. See, there's still some pencil mark there. This eraser is incredible. It can actually erase pencil mark after you paint. And so be a little bit worried about the perspective. Okay, so the aspen, the chunk that the fairy cut out, and have this the perspective kind of follow that line just a little bit. Even when we're doing fantasy or creative drawing and painting like that, we pay attention to the form, and so that it will come alive. And I like this using the stem of the of the sunflower to be the smoke chimney. She has a fire in there, is making dinner, I guess. And so we did the background, and so I finished this part and almost this part, and I finished up this part, just so that towards the end how far we got for the hour that we have. And then the mushroom is fun and good, and I think I add the little mushroom while you guys are still on with me. And so all of the paint color that I use will be on the blog post, but I can mention it. Cadmium yellow light, cadmium yellow medium, and quinacridone burnt orange. My green mix this. There's indigo, and then there's the dioxazine purple. I think it's either from Daniel Smith or from M. Grant. That's the green mix. Same here, I put a little rust over there, and that's cadmium red medium plus a little bit of cadmium yellow medium, and I let it mix on the brush instead of the palette. I seldom mix color in the palette. And all the brushes that I use, there's a product list, and also all the paints that the main foundation of the paints that I use is also on that product list. You guys can go click on it and see. And I might this year apply to be an affiliate with Blake Art Supply. I'm not sure. If I remember and I have time to do that, I might do that so that I can link you guys to their supply. But most of this stuff is in Amazon also, and I also have link paper, so you guys can get started what you need. And I'm going to sign this painting, and I also demonstrate how I do this. Since I use this micron, right, I can just kind of follow the characteristic of the aspen, and you guys will have fun. Hopefully follow this with me. Thank you very much. Happy Chinese New Year and Valentine's Day, and happy every day to all of you. And say hi to me, subscribe to my channel, and we will let all of us get started. Okay, we should get started. And this is the flow brush from the Oriental Art Supply. This is going to be fun, and I am going to, I know that this area where the yellow leaves of the, the yellow petal of the sunflower will be, you know, a little bit, I take a little bit staring at that and also at my painting right here to, you know, get it all into your mind. And so we will just, you know, take the time, okay? But now the first thing I want to establish is the green part of the stem. And I'm using my green mix, the palette that's over here. And I know that a lot of you have asked. I'm going to pick up some with a brush that I have, you know, dab dry. Pick up some perlene green, maybe with a little dab of, okay, let's show you. Okay, just this one time, perlene green with a dab of the sap green, okay? I don't mix color, not very often. And this is, you know, pretend the sun coming down from here. So I leave a couple of open space and we'll just start right here, okay? Leave some open space to just let it look like it's more airy and the sun is like shining. Sometimes it's shining bright. You know, this is like totally up to our imagination, right? Which is like really for our... Now I lay down some the perlene green color, okay, and now I'm going to use a clean brush, you know, dab it dry. If you, I know some of you have asked me about, you know, water and how to control the moisture. I know that is the #1 most frustrating thing. Now we're gonna come back here and intensify that shadow area, okay? And I have a couple of problem shooting tutorial, and I think that will be, you know, then I don't have to take time over here to, you know, address that. I go into detail in those videos so that you guys can go take a look, okay? When you have time, it will be worth your time, I think. Yeah, if you're trying, you know, hard to. And I'm going to drop a little bit of cadmium yellow light over here, just lighten the part that is closer to the sun a little bit, okay? And while this is still wet, we'll keep adding on to the color, mixing, dropping. Now I'm dropping a little bit of sap green, so the color is more rich instead of just one color, okay? And go get some perlene green and just let it mix on the paper, okay? And that's mostly what I like to do. Just let things mix in the paper. Sometimes I mix, you know, but seldom. And I will today though. And I will tell you when I get to there and when I get to that point. At least I hope I remember. And get this area, you know, we can soften the area and we don't have to. It all depends on your preference. If you, some people do not like the lines. I actually am one who actually do not mind the, you know, having some harsh line over here, but there's no harsh line, you know, maybe you can't see that, but there is none. But you know, if you don't like harsh line, then also in one of my problem solving, I talk about the technique of softening, which is softening watercolor, which is really beneficial to just practice. And I also, in one of those painting, the problem shooting, I also talk about, you know, how to eye practice when I was, you know, the years when I was learning. I still do that sometimes, you know, just because it's very, practicing watercolor is very soothing to me. You know, so if you look at the problem solving video and you like what I do, you want to try doing the same thing, is you know, it's very easy to find out, you know, what I do. And you know, I can tell you now, I usually just draw leaves or circle and just listen to some scripture or music, and then just sit here and just enjoy myself and practicing different techniques. And I find that those are valuable time, okay? Some, this is perlene green, you know, and I also, if this is your first time and you're trying to paint this one with me, okay, this part is also going to be green too. So don't worry too much about going over the line, okay? So how do I draw the lines? On this painting, I use this micron PM because this is more fantasy, so we don't really have to worry about having all this really dark line. Usually, if you have been painting with me, usually on my other painting, I use pencil, and I use the color to separate the line. But this one is a very a little bit more stressless, because most of the work by this point, I will give you a drawing, and you will find it on my blog, sunsetpeony.com, with just go look for the fairy hut post and scroll down to the very bottom, and you will find my okay, since this is also green, right, part of the stamp, the cover and of the fairy hut, you can just go ahead and start painting over here. Don't worry about the color mixing, okay? We still wanted to, pay attention to the form and the shape and things like that, meaning, where shadow part, then it need to be darker, lighter part, it need to be lighter, and how we use the light and the darker color to make things look more full. Like, for example, just this leaf over here. If I put more perlene green over here, okay, then that look more like the shadow part, and it makes the gradation, will help you see that this leaf is not just a flat leaf, okay? And so that's what I mean, by paying attention to the form. Okay, so we have a darker area over here, right? And that will, if we, just have to still keep in mind, even though this is a fantasy painting, I like to do fantasy painting because then, one, I can practice my drawing, and second, I can also use my imagination. Now, this painting is actually, now I'm using a little dab of yellow over there, okay? To make this part look like a little bit lighter on the top. This painting, my daughter asked me when my first granddaughter was very young, I say, I will paint a painting for her room. What color do you like? Okay? And so I drop a little bit of yellow color here to make the stem look brighter. Okay, now I'm going to do, let's see, where is the second layer? No, this is the yellow leaf, or should I turn that green? No, I'm just gonna keep that yellow for the sunflower, and so I'm going to just do this little part as green. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And so she say, oh, I would like to have her room has a kind of like a fairy. Now this is just perlene green. I can dab some sap green and let it mix. I don't know if you can see, you can see the color is mixing on the paper. It's very nice and pretty that way. I'm going to come in here when all these are dry, to drop some indigo, so that it will make some shadowy area and define the two layer of green more. And so she asked me if I would do that, and I actually posted just the, oh, I remember my younger daughter. Now this is for my older daughter's first child, right? But my younger daughter, when I was painting and she was still at home, and she would come in and film me. So she has a little clip of watching me doing part of this, and so she posted it on Instagram and maybe on Pinterest and on my blog, maybe, I think, I'm not quite sure. And so she always look for a little clip like that, so people can watch the process of me painting. She's very sweet, but now that she's in Florida, her husband is going through graduate school, I would now this is all I wanted to do for this part. Okay, this is a little bit darker, but I'm going to use some more indigo and leave that part a little bit lighter. Okay, so it look more like a full, like you can see that this is more like a pyramid shape now. Okay, and then we won't touch the yellow yet, and just let it have a chance. Okay, let's go to this leaf since we have a green color out. Okay, very simple. The stem part over here, we'll do the green part first, okay? The same thing with perlene green, and then I'll drop a little bit of perlene green, sap green on it, okay? But the lower part it will be a little bit darker. I hope I didn't dip into the indigo, did I? No, that is perlin green. Yes. My voice is still a little low because I had a the whole Christmas month. You know, my family came from Florida, and okay, now I'm going to use a clean brush, okay? And I also show how you dip, you know, in your water. Everybody, you know, will come to a certain time. They will be used to what they do, and they will be comfortable, and you will know it, okay? And meanwhile, do not get too hard on yourself. I remember now sap green, okay? A little bit of sap green just to lighten up the perlin green, because this is a fairy. A fairy, you know, a fairy need to be light and happy and playful. I read so many, a little bit of yellow, okay? Over this area. I read so many different books through the years about fairy. Authors are not very, you know, are not very, like fairy have a spunky personality, and they're not altogether totally sweet. That's what I observe. Even Tinkerbell, you know, in Peter Pan, she's kind of spunky. I like Tinkerbell's personality. Okay, a little bit of yellow, yellow medium. Okay, when I say a little bit, so this is what I do. I just dab it. That's a little bit, and then I'll put it over here. Now over here, now it's still wet. We can try a little bit of like, I have some indigo also in that same plate, and I can drop some over here and make this a little bit darker. Darker because it's the more part that is under the covering, and so we will just assume that it is in the shadow. Okay, and then now we let them dry, and I assume this is dry. And I also talk about, I will go to a little bit of a smaller, this brush is called Zero, and then I'll go to the indigo color. Indigo is my green mix. I always talk about how my green mix is my years of learning myself, and come upon or finally agree on a few color that I just wanted to share that with you. And that's just my sharing of my I wouldn't call it a secret, but I can, you know, whatever I use, and that you guys, I hope that if you like it, you can come up with your own mix, because I know that these four color, the perlin green, indigo, sap green, and cadmium yellow light, and sometimes even yellow medium, and they go very, and so you can see that this part is darker, right? Because the sun, when it shines down, the leaf kind of overshadow the bottom part, and so it makes the painting more alive when you take the time to do that. And when you wait for it to dry, it becomes very, very easy to just like put it on top, and you see that I just soften the edge, right? And so, am I going to do that much? Yeah, for now. Okay, and let's go to okay, let's go on to the sepia and establish the shape. Now, so in my thinking, I think when I was putting this together, I looked at a lot of different people's, you know, children books and whatever, and I decided to use the bird tree or the aspen. In Utah, we call it aspen. And the aspen tree, and this is the side shooting, right, that's coming out, and the fairy decided to cut it off, cut the branch off over here and over there, and then she take a little block and set it on the floor of the, you know, and then she used a sunflower and flip it upside down so she can have it as her roof. And that's what I was thinking the fairy was doing. So I'm using a clean brush, and I'm going into the sepia tone, okay? And over here, because I want this, the shape of her little section of this aspen tree to be a little bit like a cylinder instead of a flat shape. It's almost look like a rectangle if it is flat, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so I'm actually doing the sepia. Wow, it seems like it look a little darker on the film, but that's okay. You guys adjust to what you like. Okay, so I'm using some water to disperse this, and this will need a little shadow over here. And so all the hard work, really hard work of this painting is done when you are doing the drawing, and I already have the drawing. So for you, when you are ready to, take on this painting and have fun. And so now we're just like kind of slapping on the color, if we may say that. Just slapping on the color. Okay, and don't get this part, because this part, this trunk part need to be a little bit lighter, so that, and if we come back and we say, hey, doesn't seem dark enough, we can adjust that. Okay, but we want this trunk part to maybe have a little bit of color, but ever so slight. Okay, and this part we can do a shadowy sepia, and then later we can put either some Payne's gray or some indigo, or Payne's gray mixed with indigo. I always like to do that. That was one of my the thing that I like to do. Okay, so this part darker and this part lighter. Okay, and if we do that, it will make it more of a cylinder color. And then we want this part to have a little bit of shadowy of some sepia, just, to make sure that it's still kind of dark, but also separate the form, right? Separate this tree trunk that she had chopped off to make a little extension. I don't know where she store, what she store in here. Maybe she store her fairy dust, or maybe she just store something that she need to use every day. Okay, we kind of bring the color over here, because I will get to that point and I'll talk about it. And she slapped 2 sticks over here to be her the 2 stick to be her window bar. And I also wanted to mention, I've been, thinking about you guys and how you, these are the 2 sticks that I'm talking about. I know that when I'm painting, my talking is actually, I know that it's secondary to my painting. And sometimes I may say okay a lot, or a lot. And when you're using your subconscious to speak, I even tell you guys more story than I ought to, maybe, and just for fun, and so that you guys know that I'm very grateful that you put up with me, because English is really not my first language. Okay, so this is sepia. I'm just trying to make the stick look also cylinder-like. Okay, and it is hard for me. It really is hard for me to really know what I'm talking about, and the little thing that I say. If bother you, I am very grateful that you actually are willing to put up with me, so that you can watch my video. Okay, and let's do this one right here. Okay, this bar right there. I'm hoping though, since all the work are done with our drawing, this painting will actually go fast. I don't know though. My daughter was going through, she has to go to YouTube to fetch one of my painting, so that she could, she take excerpt of it. She's very good at doing that. And so she listened to my voice and listened to me talk about family, talk about stories, and she enjoyed that. And I say, maybe now that I'm still alive, you guys are raising children. It's very, very hard for you to have the time. You also have your other interests, right? But, when I'm gone, all this video will be here, and it will be very fun. If they wanted to listen to my voice or learn, actually, when they're older, and all this information will be right there. I really am happy about that. Now, with a birch tree, we all know that they always have these things that look like an eye. aspen. In Utah, they call it aspen because we have so many in the mountain. It's just like half of the mountain are made of pine and the other half are made of aspen tree. And their roots just spread so much and so easy. And so they have this eye. And I thought about it and I say, you know, the fairy is actually using this eye and turn it into a window. So I'm going to paint that eye area. So this is what we're painting right now, okay? Yeah, and I think you guys to have a good attitude with, you know, accepting sometimes being a friend, me, being Chinese, and, you know, have maybe pick up some habit of saying certain words like, you know, okay, and all those things. And not that because I like to throw those words out there. It's just when I'm painting and talking at the same time, my subconscious will not, my brain cannot split into so many parts to correct myself. I try, though I will keep trying, but I mainly really want to focus on talking to you guys about what I'm doing right here. So picking up with this little zero brush, still using the sepia, like almost like drawing. Because these part of the aspen tree are usually quite dark, right? And so we wanted to be true to that and so make it kind of fun. Make it kind of fun to use that as our window, as her window. When she wanted to, you know, our little imaginary fairy. I actually like to paint fairy. I follow the lady, what is, let me think about her name. She do the seasons and the flower fairy. If I forgot, you know, I think you guys know who I'm talking about. She does the flower fairy. It might come back to me. I am getting old, and then when I'm getting old, the words just come to me. I was talking to my friend. I was texting with my friend on the phone earlier, and I told her about running into in a garage sale into a print of, it's very, very antique, with the frame is very, very antique. And for some reason, as soon as I saw that painting, I'm not an art major at school. I actually was business, computer science, and the business major. And so I know finance actually quite well. And I knew the name of the artist, and so I was trying to tell her. One time I was down at the university, now let's go into some burnt umber with a little dab of black, okay? And then we put it right here for the stem. And I'm going to mix a little bit green in it. Reason why I use burnt umber, the brown, is to separate that from the sepia a little bit. And just that much, and now I'm going to go into the perlene green and have just a little bit on the tip of my brush, and then pull it down here. So that's the stem of the leaf. And so I couldn't remember. I just couldn't remember what I need to talk about. And so I just told her, well, I'll remember it, and I'll tell you. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of the brown color, burnt umber, okay? And it's on the tip of this little brush, okay? And then I'm going to dip that in a little bit of yellow, just a little bit. So it's almost like a yellow ochre, but darker. And so that I can use on this area, on the part of the window where there's light coming in from the inside. We are hoping the fairy is at home while we're painting her, not out there making mischief. And so you can see that I use more brown than I use the burnt umber, than the yellow, so that it's still kind of darkish. Because if we do this part darker, the windowsill darker, then when we do the yellow in the middle part of the fairy hut, it will make the yellow look brighter. Okay, and then come over here and soften the edge a little bit. It's still, this painting is still hanging. I never did make a print of this. Never did make a print of this. I just make the original and take it down to Texas for my granddaughter. And then now this part had less yellow, but I'm actually happy with that, and soften this edge out. Okay, and I just take it down. I never have but I do have a scanned copy of it, and that's why because someone actually asked me, can you teach us how to do that fairy hut that you did in that we saw in your blog? And I say, or maybe Instagram, I don't know where she saw it though. Actually, she left me a message on YouTube, and I say, okay, I can do that. The snowdrop are out, and so is the Healy Barrel. Those flowers are out right now because the Red Butte Garden in Salt Lake City just sent me a text and said, you need to come up and see the... Now I'm going to dip it in more burnt umber and darken this edge just a little. Just define the edge a little bit more. And so I don't know if I can make it out there. I had that 1 month worth of COVID, right? And I lost my voice so bad, and then I lost my sense of taste and smell. Also, I can't smell pigs. I was in San Diego Zoo, and everybody said, oh, this makes the pig smell so bad here. I take a big sniff and say, what smell? Everybody was laughing at me because I couldn't smell it. No, not me. Now I'm going into the cadmium yellow medium, okay? And so just do that in here, and that will indicate the inside. The fairy is in there. And then now a clean brush, soften that, because we don't want a flat color. Now this, so that lighten that a lot, right? And so I dip more. You can see that on the tip of my paintbrush, right? And drop a little bit more back in. But the way I like it is not to be a flat color, because light is not flat. It goes through a lot of different particles. So I like to do that, and so it's not too flat of a color. I actually don't like flat color, period. But anyway, and now I still have, my voice is deeper, like I talked about in my last painting. Maybe it's better, because the Cantonese, we are Cantonese people, right? We're not Mandarin. My mission president always say, oh, well, there's 60 million of us, don't mind us. You guys just go learn Mandarin. You know, the Mandarin had the Mandarin pride. And so the Cantonese language is a little bit of a harsh language. And so I say, I lost my voice. Maybe it's like better I'm gentler and softer. Oh, I forgot to do the little white stuff on the, can you see that? Yeah, so I'm going to add that. You can see a little bit of my drawing. I just absolutely love to draw. I draw a lot. And watercolor is like, I just put in the color, right? Okay, let's move the palette, and then I'm going to do the mushroom. Okay, and the mushroom color is the mix of cadmium red medium plus just a little tag of cadmium yellow medium to brighten the red a little bit and make it more rich. And so I'm going to still keep in mind my form, okay? So it will be darker down here, or richer color. Need to paint around the circle that we draw on it, right? So that, and as we go up, we can actually lighten the color a little bit. Okay, now clean the brush up, wipe it dry, but not, of course, it can be bone dry, right? You know, and also that is one thing that I actually think about that I need to mention is when your brush, when you start it, you know what I do is I usually just soak it up for a while. I just soak it up. Now I'm gonna go into just the cadmium red medium, okay, and do that on the bottom part over here. And once again, I'll clean the brush and pull the color out so it's lighter. A brush during the process of your painting, just a second, like, you know, I go fast and I always tell you guys, don't go too fast, you know, just take your time and go slower. Pause, watch a commercial, which will help me. Oh, I forgot also right here to draw the little, I'll draw it now, but then I'll let it, give it a second to dry it up. Okay, let's move over to this little guy over here. Oh, and I need, with that, I need a little bit more of the yellow in mixing. Oh, and there's too much, you know, I can tell. Too much yellow. And that's something that you can have fun. Decide for yourself how much red do you want. And just let the color mix on the... Because I dab it in the cadmium medium and then a red medium, and I dab it in the yellow. I just let the color either mix on the brush. I know there are a lot of Oriental painting, they let the paint mix on the brush, but with these kind of watercolor, I know I need more cadmium red medium. With these kind of watercolor, paper, it can actually mix on the paper. With the Chinese swan paper, the rice paper, the color mix mainly on the brush. Not on the palette, not just go on the palette, but it mix on the brush, or you can mix it on the paper. Yes, there you go. And now, hopefully that is, but let's not play with it yet. Let's take that little brush and we'll like do the sepia and do the mushroom stem over here. There should be a little bit of shadow over here, and so we wanted to make this a cylinder also. And I will drop some blue if I remember later. If I don't, then you make sure you do it, okay? And make this look a little bit cylinder. And so because the water diluted, and so I'm going to come back and intensify that. I just, you know, lay the color on the sepia color on the line over there. And then on this line, isn't this fun? I just really have fun with a little bit when I say I want to paint her a painting, and my daughter say, Mommy, can you do just invent a fairy hut or a fairy theme? And so I did that, and I think my daughter likes it. She can tell you. She seldom leave comment. I hope she does on this one. And I want this to be a little bit darker over here, okay? Just a little bit darker while it's still wet, and then come and lighten that a little bit. Alright? Okay, let's should we go on to the yellow? I thought this would be faster, and I just find out that no, it is not. Okay, now we're going to use first cadmium medium, cadmium yellow light, okay? And on our palette. Okay. And so we want this top part to be a little bit lighter, okay, because the sun is shining on it, and we take advantage of the sun. We're not trying to make this painting, you know, very tight, so it's just an illustration, so we can just have fun. You can leave some of the area that you think, you know, doesn't receive the sun and make it lighter, then it is fine. Okay, cadmium yellow medium while it's still wet, okay? I'm gonna go in here and make the color more rich and accentuate the little bit of the shadowy area. Okay, and then I still have the color here, so I'm just gonna go over here on this little petal, and then go and clean my brush and go into the cadmium yellow light. Okay, and leave a little bit of light over there. You can see that using this palette, because the color is so vibrant, it make this very happy. And I thought that before I had a chance, maybe I will have a chance to go see the snowdrop and whatever things that come out in the spring. you know, I take the chance maybe just to, you know, we can just even come over here. Now this leaf is folded up, okay, fold up. So that's why I drew it that way. Okay, and now we can drop in the cadmium yellow medium. Before I had a chance to go see the flower and see what inspired me, then I should paint this fairy hut. Then we can, you know, it is the transition between, I think a couple of years ago, I actually painted a whale. The reason why I used the cadmium more, yellow medium more here to indicate that, you know, to separate the part that is going straight down, the part that is folded up. Okay. I actually painted a whale because I think, oh, people are going to vacation, right? At this time after Christmas or Valentine's Day or whenever. And so I actually painted a whale. I don't know, sometimes I just think about things. And I like to laugh at myself, you know. You know, I decided that that's what people do. And so I just went ahead and painted a whale, and that was fun. And I thought about the whale again. I wanted to paint a whale in a jar, and I thought, oh, but somebody had asked for this, and so I decided to do this first. Okay, so a little bit of darker area over here, over there. Nice and loose, nice and loose. Okay, I still have I still have cadmium yellow medium, so I let that go right there, and that is right there. And I thought this would be fast, but you know, watercolor doesn't mean meant to be fast. I can be faster because I had practice, and so, and I'm minding the time. But as for you, just take your time and, you know, do this slowly and more neat. If you wanted to, yeah, but you can also paint it loose. That's something that, you know, different people like different things. I totally understand. Different teacher teach different things too. And I understand that because, you know, however the person learn or their personality, some people just really like things tight. Some people like things loose. But there are, you know, a few points that you need to, like, be careful about. There's a little pencil mark over there. Be careful about. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the quinacridone burnt orange, which is this little puddle over here. And I will go into a sharper brush, a smaller, sharper brush, okay, right now to get that, to introduce actually a third color into it, into this painting, into the, not this painting, into this, but be very, very sparing on the quinacridone because it's, you are trying to make the darkest part, and so let the sunflower have its chance to be light, if that makes sense, to be yellow and bright, and just, you know, use this part very, very sparingly. And then you can use it over here to separate and give it a little bit of kind of a shadow. Sometimes I actually use warm color for shadow. As all of you know that, and if you don't, I will tell you I am a self-taught artist, and so I do things, you know, myself. I think about things and I do it whichever way I think that is pleasing, that I like, and so it might not be so mainstream. I don't know what that means, because, you know, if you think about it, if you go to college and learn art, I don't know what they teach over there, but or, you know, you take it from a neighborhood lady that is really good at it, or like my maestro, right, Sister England, she actually went to Italy to take her art lesson from the best of the best, and you're still copying a style. of a certain person, whatever the person had accumulated in his life and what he wanted to do. And so it's very different. Everyone is different. I can say that. And so I hope you guys, if you really don't like something, or you don't like the way I paint, then, find a teacher that you like the style, right? Or agree with you, even with temperament. Okay, trying to kind of introduce some, of the line that existed in sunflower, and I will do that. I'm just doing that as I put in this, here and there to adjust the shadow lighter area. Okay, just a little bit over here and a little bit over here to separate those two, and I will call it done. Because I don't want to let this, one is spend too much time on here, or just let it get away from me, and so it become a quinacridone burnt orange sunflower area. Okay, let's do the sticks over here, and that will be our sepia. Let's do some rust color over here first, okay? Let's go into our burn umber and try to do this little knot over here. Okay, I'm doing the surrounding. And for me, rust has a little bit of blue in it. And so what I'm going to do is, like, I have a puddle of bluish color. I'll just drop that in there. Wow, my voice, for some reason, I use purple for the knot, for the knocker. And so I'm going to do that. I don't know, sometimes I question myself, sometimes I do not, and say, why did I come to that conclusion to use that? And sometimes I don't even know how to answer you, because it's been a while and I forgot my decision-making process. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is use some sepia to darken this area lightly. Okay, the more dark over here, right? Because it's underneath the part that the fairy cut off, and then she chiseled it, so her door could set back a little bit. I'm telling you the story of what was going on in my mind as I was doing this when I was doing this for my granddaughter. Oh, she had the highest fever, went 105, and finally the Motrin kind of take it down, and now she's better, like about, I bet she's about 100 today. But some of those childhood diseases is just really scary, isn't it? Okay, I need a bigger brush so that I'm not picking on it with a small brush, and make this area a little bit darker and sepia-ish. So you see the separate between that one and the trunk of the aspen. That's why I'm using the sepia, so it will be kind of sticking out. The sepia color help us to see that. And then let's use the indigo. Okay, indigo will mix with just a tag of Pink's gray to cast a shadow over here. Over there, you see the shadow? Okay, and now let's use the light burn umber, and we will. This is not a cylinder; it's actually a flat piece of 2x4. But I don't know what the fairy finally get her material from, and maybe there's some other fairy helping her. this part of the door is set back anyway, so you can actually bring down a little bit more gray over here. Just have the darker gray color over there, and so it won't be so stark white over here, because you don't want to take away from this area, right? And then I'm going to use a little bit more Payne's gray and drop that around here, so the shadow over here is a little bit more intense, okay? And then I'm going to do the shadow over this area, and so I'm going to do the same thing. Let's just use Payne's gray, yeah, right there, okay? Because the petal, this beautiful yellow petal of the sunflower is casting a shadow. It's casting a shadow in this area, and I think that I need some blue just to lighten things up. Okay, so you can see that the shadow are being cast over here. Oh, it's such a wonderful Chinese New Year. It's the year of the dragon, which is my brother's year. That means this year he will turn 60. And I will turn 59. And he is not very good in his health, I have to say, and that made me kind of sad. He has diabetes. So I always felt like, okay, a little bit of purple, okay, drop over here. So the shadow is kind of live. Okay, you can see the shadow. Good. Okay, let's oh yeah, we have not done the other one, the other mushroom with the cadmium medium mixed with the yellow on the brush. Okay, and I need more of the red. Love this, my older brother. I only have two older brothers, and the other one is now enjoying his Chinese New Year period in Hong Kong. I'm happy for him. He's been very good to us. He took care of both my dad and mom. Okay, you can see that I'm dropping some yellow just to make it a little bit more. But you know, we don't play with red too much, because red is kind of hard color to it lift. Okay, a little bit of sepia color over there. Okay, let's work on this. Okay, now, so what is over here is I'm going to get some cadmium yellow medium, and so my imagination is, and I'm just gonna drop it here and there. My imagination is our little fairy went out into the forest and got herself some yellowish fall leaves, because in spring she didn't worry, well, you know, in the summer she didn't worry about it, but in the fall she had to, and now burn umber because it's like raining and it's leaking, and so she put quickly patch it with leaf color. With leaf. We're doing the color. She's doing the leaf. And maybe a little bit of the cadmium red, just so that it will be kind of consistent and reflecting each other. Okay, and so that is all. You know, we're gonna do the roof of this part. And so now let's use some sepia color and we don't need details like that. We'll just kind of brush this over here and that over there. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm going to quickly come with a clean brush and spread the color out. And then come back to the sepia one more time and drop it in the darker area so it looks like a cylinder, just like this. And that's it. And then I'm going to use the same little brush and put in some cadmium yellow medium inside here, and to let you see that she also turned on her light on this part of her house where she store her stuff. Don't know what stuff fairy has. Maybe fairy dust. What do you think? And then I'm going to use some burnt umber over here. the thickness of the branch as her windowsill. Yeah, there you go. Put that over there. All right, and then the step over here is mainly just we can just use sepia and blue, and just kind of like a rustic kind of little steps over here. Go to the edge. Go to the edge over here and paint it and pull the color out. Yeah, do you guys do that? You know, when I always talk about my childhood, like when we were poor and we don't have much, you know, of I have a doll of a toy, and we will just, outside is our playground, you know, being outdoor. And so you know, my imagination of fairies and critters and snails, and you know, they are what presents at that time, you know, it's just really fun. I like to, you know, think about that, and that is fun. And so over here, we will just use the sepia color to make roughen, like so. Make sure your brush is a little dry, okay, drier, and pick up some paint. And so this is what people call the dry brush, okay. And so since we want to make the aspen chunk, you know, cylinder, so you need to follow along. This is the perspective that you see. You know, you need to follow along a little bit on the perspective. I always savor those time where I grew up, and I think about that actually quite a lot when I was young. Think about when I was young, but now I think about that, you know, and how fun it was to, you know, really have a good time being outdoor. And you know, I think this is not the first time I said it. I was a little girl, but life was safer. I wouldn't say it all the way safe. It was safer than what it is today. I don't know. You know, maybe my mom was under the impression that I actually go out and explore with my brother, but I mainly was exploring by myself. You know, I don't know where my brother was. Maybe we didn't, like my older brother didn't have the same interests. I need to darken this a little bit just to separate the two form, this one and this one. So I just need a little bit of dark, and then a little bit of shadowy area, and that's it. And I'm going to also drop in some shadow right under here, right under the roof. We always need a shadowy area. And maybe a little bit over here, just so tiny. And mixing with the color is fine. Okay, and so what I'm looking at and see, you know, I did promise you that I might drop in some indigo blue over here for more shadow. And so I need to do that. And where else do I need to? Maybe over here, a little bit of more of a shadow of the leaf, casting a shadow on there. And I'm happy with this. Oh, over here I need to have a little bit of shadow of blue and gray. Oh, it's already there. It's right there. Okay, I will put a little bit over here. Yeah, but my brother, he went and explored himself, and I explored myself. Maybe he was home, and then when he was a little, oh, this is what I mean, this part. Maybe when he was older, he actually went and put some shadow over here, okay? He went and played basketball a lot. He was tall. He was one of the tallest boy in his class, and so he, and that was his interest, and I was still exploring. Oh, I go into all kinds of places by myself. So, you know, even right now, if I go back to Hong Kong, I'll just tell my sister I wanted to go explore because I was an explorer. I had a lot of fun with exploring a little bit, okay? A little bit of blue shadow over here. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some green area, like it's like a background, but I wanted to use the perline, more perline green than sap green. this little bush over here. I'm gonna just drop in the color, but this is just the first layer of the job. And then I'll grab some sap green and drop it in, so it's like, but now it's in a wet state, so those color will mingle a little, you know, and so we will come back, and if we wanted to have some separation of the color, we will do that. And maybe a little bit of grass over here. You know, you just flick your brush a little bit up, a little bit of grass over here for right next to the mushroom. And then we use a clean brush and pull this color out, so it's not such an intense color around that area, okay? And then just kind of blend it in with this one. Not a problem. And then, you know, like green and, okay, I won't do it now. In a minute, I will drop some red over here, because if I do, that indicate that there's more mushroom. But green and red make, you know, really kind of not a very good brown, so we wanted to wait a little bit before we do that. Wait until this area is a little bit drier. Now, I know that we're pressed of time, but I don't want to finish this without doing the little bit of the cute part of what I did for my granddaughter. And so, oh, over here I need a darker green, so I'm gonna mix some indigo on the brush, or I can just put it here. I can just put it down here on the brush. That's the indigo color that suggests the hollowness. Okay, that brush was too big, and then I use some pink spray, the hollow part of the stem. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some indigo and to just go like this, and just that little few stroke is my suggestion of the chimney. This is actually the chimney coming up, and spit out some smoke. You can put a little bit of sepia on here, little bit, and just mix the color in here so that it's not just blue color. Okay, so she has a fire going, she must be cooking something. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with a pencil. I may not be able to finish the whole painting with this. I'm looking at my time, okay? I'm going to just so gently draw a circle, okay? I'm going to draw one over here. I'm going to draw one over here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, okay? And these are the fireflies at night. And so I'm going to surround it with cadmium yellow light. And soften the edge over there like that. Okay, let's do all 4 of them. Actually, for my granddaughter, it's all over. Okay, so they are, you know, kind of bright. Oh, is that one over there? Did I draw one over there? Let's not do one over there. Okay, it's kind of bright because the firefly are bright. The firefly and the fairies are friends. I guess it's evening time, so that's why the light is in. It's the light is bright inside, and then I'm going to this part. I think we should do that. Okay, use the blue purple color. Okay, and then we're gonna come over here. It's okay if that go into the green part of the stem a little bit, because you know it just make this part right here darker, especially now that it's dry. And drop some more because I wanted it to be really darker. And so wherever this fairy hut is located, there is a lot of you know, but still, you know, the brightness is still coming from the top. Maybe the moonlight coming from the top, or some light. It's a shadow, you know. Even if we are in the daytime, sometimes forests are kind of dark, and you let the blue, let the purple color mix into the yellow. I think that kind of give it a little bit of a mystic kind of feeling, fairy kind of feeling. But you know, to just be truthful, I don't go out at night. That would be awful to explore, you know, because people do get drunk and harass people, kids and such. I don't go, you know, that will be kind of scary to do that. Okay, and then you just keep letting that blue go over, and then it will be, you know, kind of give you an atmospheric, and then you can actually drop a little bit of yellow, just a drop right there. Now if those two color mix, then it will become kind of mud. Okay, so maybe wait until the purple dry. And now I'm going down to the mushroom and the area over here, and then I'll drop in some reddish yellow, and that's just suggestion of mushrooms here and there, everywhere, behind, maybe in front, like that. Isn't that fun? And so I will just take another minute, okay? And but you guys need to do this part if you wanted to, this part, and all the way over here, and then you can actually bring in some of the purple onto the door and the side of the house. Okay, I'm going to do this part over here with you guys. Yeah, because I already did let's do a couple more. Okay, let's pick up our so I'm not going to draw it with my pencil. I'm just gonna freehand it like that. Okay, and I actually used the cadmium medium, and that was light. You can tell you can tell the difference in the color, right? Let's stick with the light. And we have all these firefly. That is, we can't see the shape or any form, but we can see the light that is emanated from them, right? And so you just go do this, and I kind of wanted to do that area with you, okay? So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in some indigo over here, because underneath the leaf is usually darker, right? And then I'm going to start dropping in purplish color over here. Okay, in my original painting, there is a firefly over here, so I need to do that. I don't have to, but I wanted to. Okay, do a little firefly over here. This would be so good for our granddaughter's bedroom, and I'm going to put in some indigo over here just to, you know, make this nighttime color a little bit more rich. Not just purple and indigo. Okay, just like right here, it's purple and indigo. So I'm gonna put a little bit more indigo right there, a little bit more over there, to just darken the atmosphere over there, and then make sure there's not a line, but all this area you can fill out, okay? And then we'll just do a little bit more purple. Don't worry, that is so, you know, you just have to work fast. Such a, what do I want to say, intense color, because we can come right in with water and just disperse it, okay? And then let this night color come over to the door and come over here to this whitish part of the bird. Then it will be more like a nighttime. Okay, now remember though, I did say that sometimes purple sting very fast. I'm using, I think that this is either M. Graham or Daniel Smith dioxazine purple. Okay, so it does, like, now that there is a line, but that line I can accept that. And oh, my voice. And here's indigo. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, and then if you want this to be darker, you can drop some more of the darkness color over here. Okay, and so I need to do some firefly. I'm just gonna have firefly here, and over here a little bit, okay? And then just to make sure that now, if you say that like over here, see I miss a spot maybe, and you can say if you want to leave it white, you can, or you can just do the aspen. I just wanted to show you, do the aspen characteristic. They look like they have cracks. Actually, they do have cracks. Okay, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys, and when I filled out all this blank area, I will have the intro in I'll have the intro in the you know, with everything completed. Thank you so much. I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day yesterday, and happy Chinese New Year, the Year of the Dragon, and have lots of fun doing your painting with me. And say hi to me, okay? Goodbye. Love you all.